Rangananayakara. He is an assistant professor at Singapore University of Technology and Design, where he directs the Augmented Senses research group. Before joining SUTD, he was a visiting assistant professor and postdoctoral associate at the Fluid Interfaces Group in Multimedia Lab. His current research encompasses the use of sensory augmentation to enhance human perception, where he focuses on creating technologies that seamlessly integrate with our bodies, minds, and behaviors. This opens up diverse application areas, including assistive, rehabilitative designs, and interactive learning technologies. Now, I would like to invite our distinguished speaker on stage to begin the session.
Okay, thank you guys. It seems like I don't have to do any more promotion of SUTD or myself. They did a great job. Told that this is your reading week, right? And it's nice that you took time off to attend this talk. And I should also thank Chandana and Chatura for having me here. I mean, we used to look up to Chatura when he finished his PhD. At that time, I was just starting my undergraduate degree there, and he was the Chaturaya for us. And now he's here taking the leading role of the department, and glad to see him doing that. And it's unfortunate that he cannot be here today for a work because of a workshop, but I'm glad that I have the opportunity to come and deliver this talk. So the talk is kind of loosely coupled, two parts. Firstly, before jumping into SUTD PhD program, I'll just briefly tell you some stuff about the research I do, just to give you a broader overview of the kind of work we do at SUTD. Then I'll move on to talk about specifically our PhD program, how can you apply, and the requirements and the kind of exposure you might get. So it's kind of two loosely coupled topics. So as this lady introduced, I run a research group called Augmented Senses, and the focus is creating, enabling human-computer interfaces. I had a background in electronics, and then my PhD was on, it was a combination of electronics, computer science, and humanities. So after the PhD, I started building my own research group. Now it's called Augmented Senses Research, and we want to go beyond the traditional desktop computing. I mean, if you think about computers, we use computers for pretty much everything these days, right? Computers we use to socialize, we use to play, it's part of our work, even for things like politics, health, learning. Computers are always part of us, and it's getting increasingly part of our daily life. But the problem is, since the Xerox was invented almost 30 years ago, since then, things hasn't changed much. I mean, although things look more sleeky and nicely designed now, but the way we interact remains the same. Still a keyboard, a mouse, and you have to sit down in front of it, and you have to specifically tell the computer what you want it to do. Then it just does that job. So in that interaction point of view, things hasn't changed much. So it's time that we start looking at new ways of interacting with computers. How can we engage computers in our daily life without ruining our interpersonal experiences? So that's part of the focus that I do. And to be very specific, I focus on creating enabling interfaces. Interfaces that feels like natural extension to our body, mind, and behavior. I mean, this is not a natural extension, right? I have to take something out of my pocket and look at the screen, then I lose the conversation. But this guy is kind of more natural, right? Now I have the screen right here. I can still have a conversation. I know what time is it. I have how much time left, and I can have my speaker notes right here without disconnecting with you. So these are the kind of things we are working on. And rather than going into any specific project in detail, I thought of giving you a broader view of the stuff I have been doing. I have categorized them into few different categories, and I'll walk you through these projects so you get a broad understanding of the stuff I do and kind of a explanation of this vision. So the first class of project is finger-worn interfaces. Again, pointing is kind of a very natural gesture we do, right? We always point at things and ask questions. Whether you are a small kid or an adult or a senior citizen, we always point at things and ask, what is this? So building an interface to augment this natural behavior was kind of interesting, and that led us to build this prototype called Iring, which is essentially a ring with a micro camera. So you can point at things, and the ring will give you specific information. And you can immediately think of many applications for this, right? As you can see here, this could be a tool for blind person. Especially in US, blind users can't detect currency notes because all the notes are same size. So this allows them to just point at a currency note and ask the ring what's the value of this note, and the ring would provide a voice output for that. And they could go to a shop, detect price tags, go to even a map and point at the map and find out where exactly they are pointing at. So we started this as a interface for blind people, but you can imagine this goes way beyond that. This could be a tool for kids who start to learn a language. This could be a self-learning tool. They can learn how to read. It could be a tool for travelers. I remember, especially when I go to Japan for research purposes, it's a pain to get around because there's nothing in English except in the airport. So having something that translates things on the go would be very useful. And even beyond that, a sighted person might think, okay, blind user with this still might not be superior than me who can see properly. But that's probably not true anymore, because with this, a blind user might be able to recognize micro patterns on products and differentiate genuine versus fake, whereas a sighted person would have no idea. So these kind of interfaces will bring people from where they are and to a state where they can, where it's very hard for them to imagine the kind of superior capabilities they get. This has been going viral these days, particularly this video. If you look at recently Fox TV in US, Time Magazine, New York Times, Facebook, there was like overnight 100,000 hits for this particular video where we showcase how this kind of interface enabled real-time on-the-go reading. The best technology right now you have is mobile phone apps where you have to take a picture of an entire page and it will read the whole page for you. But this allows you to skim through, find a particular part that you are interested in and read, and you can control your speed by moving the finger as fast as you want. And fingertip is recognized as the cursor point, and the ring guides you to stay online. If you deviate, it gives you haptic feedback to keep you online. I'll show you the video just to give you a better understanding. I mean, you get the point. So we didn't optimize for voice and all that, but you can see it's tested in a real situation. It's not some random text that we printed for experimental purpose. This is real books and real documents that the person would read, and this was almost impossible for a blind user before this. So these are one class of work, finger-worn interfaces. The second class of work is augmented objects. I mean, you might have heard about tangible computing, tangible interfaces. So we have been working on augmenting object, again providing a seamless way of interacting with objects. So there's few projects that I've worked on, but this one I'm kind of very proud of. This is, you can think of this as a audio version of a sticky note. I mean, we are used to sticky note. We stick them on objects, on places, just to add some additional textual information, and we take them apart, we bring them, and we can deploy, redeploy as many times as we want. That's the post-it note interactions. And can we bring similar things into audio? So this is audio tag. You can place it anywhere you want. You can deploy, redeploy, just like how you would interact with a post-it note. And by adding this to any object or place, you can be aware of that place. So this allows you to remotely listen to things. This allows you to find things. You can say if you are having too many folders, you don't know what goes in what folder. When you put things into folder, you can just add this sticker saying that, okay, this has my project A, this has my project B. Then when you need to find project A documents, you just have to speak to say some input device and say find my project A documents. That particular sticker will start making sound, so you can locate objects that way. You can delegate work to this. You can just attach this to a baby crib. It will listen for a baby's cry and play back a predefined music. You could even use these things to translate any surface into interactive surface, such as I can put 4 of these across this projector screen. Then this entire space becomes touch sensitive. So I can triangulate based on time of travel, and then add, I can even touch this and provide some interactions based on that. So that's the second line of work. Again, I have a quick video of how this type of interface would change the way people who can't hear live. And this was done by one of the TV stations in Singapore with the real users.
This nifty little device will pick up the sound and send an automatic alert to a smartphone. The battery-operated device can be stuck on any flat surface in the house. It can pick up sounds within a 2 to 3 meter radius and can be programmed to recognize more than 100 sounds.
This device is good. I can see that it will benefit the deaf community, and also for the deaf parents who have hearing babies. Although the parents can't hear, but this device will help them to see the tracking going on, and can help to inform the parents that the baby is crying and so on.
The team took 7 to 8 months to conceptualize and develop Stickvia. Their aim is to improve the human sensory experience for the hearing impaired.
I hope this will try to, in terms of like the barrier or platforming, and this can improve this environmental sound.
The team is looking at developing it further to make it thinner, so it can stick better on different surfaces.
So another point of SUTD and in my research group is we are not doing things to stay in the lab. We want to, I mean, my advisor used to say in MIT, technology doesn't matter. What matters is the impact of technology. So we are always striving to create a real impact for lives of people, and doing just lab experiment and coming up with an algorithm that does things 10 times faster doesn't add much value. So we are always trying to move this to the market, and this one is now a startup company producing this, And at the very first stage, we are even giving this free for deaf associations for users to try and really comment on how this thing changes the way they live. So that's another aspect of SUTD. We want to push technologies out of the lab into the society and change the way people live. This is the third line of work. People say artificial intelligence is a old school way of doing things. It's more traditional, doesn't probably give the impact that we are looking for, and it's almost impossible to design a computer that works like a human. So instead of talking about artificial intelligence, now people talk about intelligence augmentation. So instead of replacing the man, you provide the person the inputs and let the brain do the job and process information and be capable of doing things much more powerful. And this is one example of doing that. So this allows you 360 vision. So I see what's in front of me. I also see what's behind me if something happens behind. So somebody can throw me a ball from behind. I know exactly at that point something is coming. I can just catch. So that's why we call this spider vision. So you can have this 360 awareness. And these things, I'm working with Singapore police force, because in a riot, you could be thrown stones from all over the place.